Hello, beautiful beans. Hi, Potato. Good to see you. I'm going to warn you guys before I switch screens, there will be an eggplant on screen. So if that's not something you like seeing, please avert your eyes. Not a euphemism. At least not yet. BP! Hello. How's tricks, everybody? I'll just yawn right off the bat. How about that? I'm a little sleepy. I'm like really groggy today. Just because I slept longer than I usually do on days when I need to get up. I don't know. I've been waking up like really early and not been able to fall back asleep regularly. It is a fruit, technically. It is a fruit. Or is it a berry? It might be a berry. Bananas are berries, technically. Hi, stars. But yeah, so I started working on this yesterday. Yeah, I was gonna say, okay, I was right. I was like, wait a second, the seeds are on the inside. I think it's technically a berry.
Does it feel good?
Oh.
I still haven't altered that to be a better volume, but I will. I do need to tone down this green a little bit. I made it too green. So I think I just need to put some yellow ochre over it and I'll feel better. But the next step on this is to do all of the water drops, which you can see where I put masking fluid down. So we have to go around all of these and make them look like water drops, which y'all remember me doing the bubbles for the otter or the water drops on the fuchsia. I'm going to complain about it the whole time. We also have, I don't know that I'm going to do this one on stream today, but I figured I'd show you guys where I was at with it. I do want to work on this one today, which is butterfly. And it's also going to be a nice purpley color with a couple other colors included. And then we definitely need to finish this today because this is the last prompt for the tipathon, and then I can start working on scanning those and getting them put into a mural. But I figured you guys would want to see my eggplant. You guys like seeing my pickle, so I figured you'd want to see my eggplant. But yeah, so I got all of that done yesterday. This is like a lot of layers. I didn't count. But now that I'm looking at it, I might actually do the... Ooh, I didn't bring out the paintbrushes that I left in my room when I was working on this. So I will get up and walk through the house and you guys can walk with me. But I think now that I'm looking at it, I'll put some yellow ochre on that really quick and see if I like it better. Because that'll need to dry in between anyway, so I can just leave it for a bit. Okay. Brushes. How's everybody else doing? I mean, I'm betting I'm not the only one that's eepy. Just a guess. I was doing yellow ochre, that's what I was doing. These can also go over here. Cat hair everywhere. I also decided that I lighted this leaf wrong while I was looking at it the other day. The other day, literally yesterday, last night, I was doing something else and had focused right there because this leaf is curling up and I was like, wait, the way that I shaded that 100% does not match how it should be shaded. So I got super distracted while I was trying to focus on something else and was like, wait a second. Oh, all good, Tens. Good luck with your call and safe travels and all that jazz. Good to see ya. So I'm gonna lighten this up before I do anything else, which is just gonna be me picking up some of the pigment. Because what I should do is lighten this up and then pop some yellow on it, I think. Do you think that I've overworked this paper a little bit just because I was putting down pigment and picking up pigment and changing my mind about how I was doing it and all that kind of stuff, which, like, yeah, that's how art works. Also, I have my palette turned a different way than normal. I don't know why I did that. Thank you, stars. Eggplants are like, they have really smooth skin, so the shading itself isn't like a big problem. Like it was relatively easy. But the water drops are what's gonna take forever, and I'm probably gonna regret how many I put on here. I did consider briefly yesterday that I have, so the reference image that I'm using, somebody has sprayed like a mist over the eggplant. So there's a lot of like really tiny little water drops. And I did consider that I also have a mist spray bottle, so maybe it would work to just spray and then pick that pigment up where the water hit. But I didn't want to test that theory on a full painting where I don't have time to redo it. So we might play with that at some point in the future and see if I think that works. I also did a different technique that was supposed to keep my paper from buckling as much, and I gotta say, not really. I saw something that was like, if you tape your paper down and wet it and then let it dry, it won't buckle when you paint on it. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll try it. It won't be any different. And I gotta say, no. This is exactly the same way it would have done if I hadn't done that. So, whatever. Hi, Blib! I can see the gif in my head. See, the green on screen looks a lot closer to what I want it to be versus in person. Which is wild to me. I think I just need to do like a very light wash of some ochre and red to tone down the green a little bit. But I need to wait until that other pigment that we just added dries. So that's going to sit over here because I don't have enough space to have that and these. We will work on our little bunny for a moment here. Because, yeah, I should get this done today. And then I will be done with the Tipathon prompt painting. And I can get on to scanning them and laying them out. Because everybody did unlock free downloads of like a wallpaper version of all the prompts. So I'll put that together. I do have an idea for how I want to put it together. But once I get those scanned, I can just download them into the document and then work on it while I'm traveling if I want to. Because that one shouldn't be too bad. Like, I could probably work on that one, like, on a plane. As long as it's not too crazy turbulent. Yeah, I will say, I don't really do watercolor quote-unquote correctly. I'm self-taught in watercolors, which is kind of funny because, like, I do have an art minor. I did do, like, art classes and stuff, but I never did a watercolor class. So I'm sure a lot of the things I do are not technically correct, but I use them to get what I want, which is fine. Like, I can do it however I want. But I do think that would be a good way to get, like a more organic spray of, like, an organic spread of shapes and stuff versus, like, me putting them on there manually. Because, like, humans, even when we try to be random, we tend to, like, make a pattern. Because you can do stuff like that when you're doing, like, galaxy and stuff, which is why a lot of artists for stars will, like, spray white ink with a paintbrush or something, which you guys have seen me do. So it seems to me like it could work, but do I really know? Nah. It was just a thought that I had yesterday. It took me so long to put all the masking fluid down on that, because I did that for the high highlights on the water drops. And like I said, there's a lot of water drops, so yeah. That's great. I love it. I do use a hair dryer sometimes, although I haven't been using it as much, just because I only have the one hair dryer, and sometimes I need to use it on my hair, so it moves between where I paint and the bathroom, and my bathroom is downstairs, so sometimes I just don't want to go get it. So I don't. I also tend to just try to work on other stuff while my layers are drying. Because a lot of times, like, hi BP! What was I saying? Can I have my sentence back, please, brain? A lot of times if you do dry it like that, like dry it quickly, it keeps the watercolor from doing like fun things like blooms, which sometimes is good. And sometimes it's not really what you want. Oh, it's just two different ferrets. So there's the one that you just got that's flopping out of the red box, and then there's one that flops up against a laundry basket. So just the two. And it's randomized, and they both have equal chances, so. I realized this morning that I didn't update my website at all this month, and I barely did last month. So I was working on that a little bit today, because I was like, I should put a little page for all the art fight attacks I've been doing, and just put that in like the past projects tab, like Stream Ink and stuff are. And I got there and I was like, oh, I have not been doing the business side of things very well lately. Which, like, it's not that big a deal. It's not the end of the world. It's just one of those things where I saw it and was like, yeah, I knew I was forgetting something. So I still have a fair amount of work to do on that. And it's not published yet, so you can't go and see, because I have a lot of background work I need to do for it first. It's just like adding a page and putting in the little descriptions and stuff. And I want to make sure to include information so people can find the character stuff, which is the website company I use is like, it's better than nothing, but it also does not have a lot of features that I would like for instance, adding hyperlinks into gallery descriptions. It just doesn't let you do that, which seems silly to me. It's like, what if I need to link something though? He is not in the room at the moment. He got upset. He was sleeping on my bed while I was getting, I was working on my website before stream and, eating my breakfast and stuff. And he got really upset when I got up to move. Yeah! This is one is for Grim. Oh, I haven't labeled this one either. I need to remember to do that. I do want to give Grim a very pink nose because I think that's funny. All of the colors on my palette right now are for the eggplant, so I'm mixing in the tiniest little spots. I need to do her ears too. I also could look up the name of that butterfly, because I don't remember it off the top of my head. It's like Argius or something like that. Garrus. Emperor butterfly. Oh, I also am realizing I forgot to do something that I wanted to do on Kuros, which is give eye shine in there. I think it's fine without it. I think we'll just leave it. Okay, I need to let that dry for a little bit before I work at it more. Let me throw everything around. That will definitely help. I will pull up my reference image for this, if I can remember where I put it. There it is. Okay. Because there's also a really nice orange on this one, which is part of the reason why I picked it, because I thought it was like a nice combo of colors. Here, I'll show you. I'll show you the butterfly. So this is what we're working with. Well, working with, I don't know. I don't know words. If you expected me to know words, then I don't know why you're here, honestly, because that ain't me. I know that I wrote down what butterfly this was somewhere. You can hear. Maybe? No. Where did I put that? It wasn't just Purple Emperor. There was another word involved. I'd also love it if my hip would pop back into place properly. That would be great. Put it there. Oh, I know what I did. I saved the ref to my actual computer and named the files that. That's why I can't find it in my usual notes files, because I didn't put it there. At least I thought that's what I did. Where are you? Agathena, Emperor Butterfly. That's what it is. Okay. Okay. There we go. And not all of them have like this super bright orange, but I just liked the bright orange, so we're gonna roll with it. And the permanent violet is a bit more pink than what the natural one is, because a lot of the things that they call purple in nature aren't purple, they're blue. But we're also gonna give him a little crown because he's an emperor, right? But I can start by blocking in some of the orange in here, because I think we're also going to use permanent orange. The color of the month is permanent violet, and I don't have the card out here because I put it back with my other ones, but sorry, I cannot start at the start of a thought. I need to start in the middle and then backtrack. I needed to do the card pull for the next color and focus pull before I left because it needs to be published while I'm gone. So I needed to do that, and I decided to mix it up a little from what I have been doing. And so I did pull 4 new cards, which is the standard, but I also included the previous month's card as an option. So if people wanted me to continue working on this color for another month, they could vote for it again, or they could vote for one of the new colors. That's not published yet. That publishes a week before the end of the month, so not quite yet. But I thought that might be fun. I also feel like I haven't really gotten to focus on the color this month the way that I would have liked to. So if other people agree with me, then they can tell me to focus on it more. But yeah. And I am making some of these color transitions more harsh than they are, like putting lines around them and stuff, even though that's not really what it looks like, you know. Because there is a fair amount of brown on this guy too. It kind of transfers into a kind of light muted brown, but I might saturate a little bit more than what my reference is showing. But we'll see. Because we've got some spots on like the edges that are pretty orange. So, like right through here too. And there is some like orangey red on the like face and the eyes too. You need to decide what color to make the bunny. I know that I've asked Grim in the past what color she would be if she was a bunny, and I do not remember the answer. Well, maybe I can search DMs. That is one of the nice things about Discord, is if I know that I've talked to somebody about something in DMs, but I can't remember what the answer was, I can try to search for the wording I remember, and I often remember the exact wording that I have used to say something, which means I can get to the correct area. Yeah, I remember exactly what I said. Okay, black or deathly pale? Okay. That was Grim's answer. So I think I think doing black would end up blending a little bit too much for the rabbit, so I might go with pretty pale. Or I could just go straight black. Since I've done the robe as purple, it wouldn't be as bad. I was thinking I might darken that, but maybe I won't. And we can just do a very dark bun. That seems like a good choice. I think I've talked myself into it. Not that brush. This brush? No. This brush. And I think I will use some silver pearlescent for the scythe blade. You too, Tens. Thanks for popping in. I was so tempted to make this bunny a Dutch for half a second. I have had rabbits before, so I had two. I had Wash, who was my baby boy, and Zoe, who hated me. She hated most people, though. She had not had an easy life before I rescued her. But Wash was a Dutch. He wasn't a black and white Dutch, but he was brown and white. So to me, the rabbit I immediately think of as Dutch rabbit. Hey Lewis, I'm good. How about you? I'm a little sleepy, but I feel like that's just my regular state of being anymore, so... Hi, Shawnee. Oh gosh, I was working on my website this morning. It's a little work. Good luck with the side hustle. I'm trying to remember. I'm sure you've told me before, but I don't remember. Were you the person who made beef jerky? Or is that somebody else? I might be misremembering. Hi, Shawnee. I love you, Shawnee. How are you doing? Okay, darken up some of these shadows. Oh, that's very cool. Yeah, that's smart. I'm sure since you work in IT, you are better managed to deal with your website than I am to deal with mine. Oh, I'm sorry, Shawnee. What were you working on? Because I know you've been painting a bit, and then aside from that, just like cooking and taking care of literally everything else, but... okay. Just slept funny. The little night demons were stomping on you in your sleep. Hi, Topia! Good to see you. Yeah, I hope you feel better, Shawnee. You really, like, you have enough going on without needing to deal with your body just being a butthole, too. Yeah, I'm using Wix as well. I use Wix, and they have, like, they're generally pretty easy to use, but they don't have everything that I would really like. I was just talking earlier that since I'm using like mostly images because I'm an artist, their galleries, they won't let you put hyperlinks in the descriptions, which really irks me. Because like if I'm inspired by something, I would like to link to that person or that piece of art or something, but I can't, there isn't a way for me to do that well. Unless I wanted to go into like the actual code, which like I can do. I do know a fair amount of that, but I don't want to do that. And I feel like I shouldn't have to. I feel like that's kind of a basic service. Yeah, I was working because I've been doing Art Fight this month. And so I've done a lot of other people's characters. And so I'm making a little gallery for that. That's part of what I was working on this morning. And I would like to be able to link to the people. But so far it hasn't seemed to work for a hyperlink. I might need to poke at it more, but I also like don't really have the time to poke at it a lot. I might need to deal with it later. Because aside from just like being busy because I'm a small business owner, I also am traveling soon. I need to keep that in mind also. I might like put it on the back burner and deal with that concept when I get back. I don't know that this is clearly bunny, but that's okay. Yeah, good luck, Shani. I wish you, I don't know, a strong back and much fortitude. I don't know what color I want to make the... Maybe green. Make the music notes. I put links and stuff, basically. So, like, whenever I raid somebody, people often ask for, like, your social media or whatever. I have a page on my website that's just all of my links. So it's basically a link tree. So I just actually link to my own website. And I put that whenever I do, like, I don't know, Instagram, or I don't really use TikTok much anymore, but that also, or things like that. I have my shop in my, which is also via the same website, in my like bio description and stuff. And Tumblr, I guess, is the other big one. Other than that, I honestly don't do much. I should do more. I should like actually deal with SEO and that kind of stuff, but I like don't want to, so I haven't. Like, I have to use the algorithm to an extent, but I don't want to. I'm not playing ball. Hi, Graham. You wanna hydrate? Look, Graham. Do you want a stretchy?
Show me your hands!
Oh my god, why can't you just take the freaking compliment?
Ugh, my shoulders are sore and I do not know why. Well, I mean, I do know why. It's because I have a body, but you know. Something nice used about myself. Let's see. I'm trying to think of something like new that I haven't said before. Yeah, bodies sure are something. I was really productive yesterday. How about that? I got a lot of work done. I got all of the Patreon stickers for this month set up in envelopes so that I can mail them. I got all of the stickers for next month packed. I got that photographed, and I made the Patreon post for it. I did the color and focus poll for the end of this month to choose the August color yesterday also, and I worked on my eggplant yesterday also. I did bring out a sticker to show you guys. So this is going to be the August sticker club sticker via Patreon. It's based off of like a little meme image of an out of focus possum in front of a sunset, as you might see here. It's been going around Tumblr, often tagged with unrestrained summer fun. So I thought that would be funny for August. And since my first Ona is a possum, I thought that would be cute. Yeah, I'm trying a matte laminate on this, which I'm liking so far. Because a lot of my laminate is hollow or glossy is pretty much all I have, but sometimes you just want to be able to see the sticker. It also makes it a lot easier to photograph than the plain glossy ones, because like when I'm taking a photograph of it, you can't see the reflection of my camera in the sticker without me having to do like crazy acrobatics. I'm wondering if I have a plain glossy one out here so I can show you the difference. I should. Yeah, there we go. So like this one is a plain glossy sticker, and you can see she be glossy, and then the matte one is like, it's matte, you know, but you can see like the reflection of the ring light, you know. So it makes it a lot easier to photograph, which is nice. I also think that sometimes the matte is better, especially for the ones with like words, because you can actually like read it. But yeah, so this is going to be the August sticker. So I got those done and printed, so I don't need to worry about it, because I'm traveling at the end of the month. So when I would be getting all of those set to post, I'm not going to be with my laptop or anything. I'm not bringing my laptop with me, I decided, because otherwise I'll want to work, and I shouldn't work. Like, it's a legitimate vacation. So I'm just going to not, which might bite me in the butt. We'll find out. But traveling with a laptop is also just annoying, you know. Yeah, actually chilling. Who is she? I mean, I will also be doing stuff. Like, I'm gonna visit museums. I'm gonna hang out with friends. I'm gonna try hot pot for the first time. I don't know if we have a hot pot place here, honestly. I've never really looked either. I'm gonna do something a little weird, which I know you guys are like, Katie, you're always weird. What are you talking about? But because, hello, Mr. Khan. How can I help you? Oh, you're dying from pet deficiency, I see. Because the pearlescent watercolors will like dump a bunch of mica into my paint water and make everything I do from now on sparkly, I'm going to separate some water into this tiny little cap, and that way I don't need to infect all of my water, because I want to do the CIF in pearlescent, but I also don't want to have everything I do be sparkly for the rest of the day. Yeah, he's been bouncing back and forth between me and my brother today, as neither of us are paying enough attention to him, he's decided. Because we both got work to do. He was like settled sleeping next to me. Yeah, the problem with the shiny is that it does mess with how it scans. So if I get a little bit of mica, for instance, on like the eggplant, I will have to go through and correct every single dot of mica that is on the painting. And I don't want to do that. Like some days everything can be shiny, but for these I don't want to do that. Like sometimes a little bit of extra sparkle is fine, but not all the time. Ooh, I did. This is maybe a compliment. I don't know. I finished a book last night and started a new one. It did kind of slap me in the face at the end, though. Oh, I haven't shaded the shaft. I don't know what you would call it on a CIF. Because so I read Educated, which is a memoir of a woman who grew up in a very, I don't think calling it devout is the correct word, but I'm not sure what else to use. A very devout and intense Mormon family. So like the kind who don't want you to go to doctors at all, period, ever. And they didn't go to school, and they weren't really properly homeschooled, but she's ended up with a PhD in history, specifically. And so I read her book. It was very interesting. It was suggested, or mentioned, I guess, in one of the books I was reading about complex PTSD. And I was like, yeah, I'll read that. Sounds like something I would find intriguing. And so she was talking about all these like crazy odds she had to go through to get admitted into a college and like catch up, because she hadn't had a proper education, so she like didn't know anything. She talks about specifically in one of her classes, she was asked to read a paragraph out loud in one of her history classes about the Holocaust, and she got to the word Holocaust and said, I don't know what this means, can you explain it to me? And everybody thought that she was joking. And so some people like stopped talking to her and stuff like that because they thought it was inappropriate. But she legitimately had never heard it before because her father was extremely anti-Semitic, for one, and generally misinformed about Jewish people, so she had like literally never heard about it. But like I go through this whole book and I'm expecting, like, based on the way that she lived as a child, where like they didn't really have electricity or television for a very long time and stuff like that, I was expecting her to be older than me by a significant amount, based on how well she remembered stuff that I was pretty young for. No, she's 2 years older than me, it said at the end of the book, and I was like, cool. She got her PhD the same time I graduated college with my undergrad, and I was like, cool. I'll just see myself out. Thanks. Just like it's not bad, but it is one of those moments where you're like, oh right. Other people have it more together than me, even when they've gone through like things that are way more difficult than what I've gone through. Okay, this one was for Jump Gen, and I turned it into Kuro. prompt was gorgeous bat. Still a little damp. I can't sign that one yet. I will probably forget to sign that one if I'm being honest. Technically, I haven't signed any of these. I'm just labeling them. I wanted to do some yellow ochre on this. We're gonna like flip-flop back and forth between projects today just because I have a lot to get done. So while something is drying, I can work on something else. Because I'm not 100% sure if I'm gonna stream on Friday or not. It depends on how crazy I get about packing and traveling and stuff. Because I'm leaving like Monday night basically. So okay, here's hoping this does what I want it to. Yeah, so right now I'm planning to stream on Friday. I do not know if that will remain the case, and I will update folks definitely in the Discord and probably on social media, and I will definitely change my schedule on Twitch itself to show that. I don't think that made enough of a difference. I'll keep people updated. There won't be a stream on Monday for sure. But I do believe that BP is doing a bunch of birthday stuff on Monday, so you should go hang out with him. I'm not going to be able to participate because, again, I will be traveling. I gotta prepare. And, you know, generally have an anxiety attack about it because that's just how I roll, baby. Yes, hello, Con. What's up? Do you want to sit up here? You seem to like sleeping up there while I'm working. We have also been feeding Con a little bit less because apparently we were, well, I say we, Greg has been in charge of all that, but apparently we were not following the correct regimen. So he's been a little more focused on bothering us to try to get more food, which is interesting because he hasn't been very food motivated for us. He will try to eat my food, but apparently it's just me. Not sure why. Okay, bye, Con. Yeah. But, like, we didn't know what the correct regimen was. Okay, that's better. I like that better. It still is, like, a little intense, but I think a little intense is fine. I just wanted it a little more on the brownie, desaturated side versus, like, bright green, which is where it was at. My plan for the masking fluid is to only take masking fluid off on the spot that I'm working on, because it will lessen the possibility that I end up smearing pigment into spots where I don't want pigment. And again, I don't know that I really want to work on this super much today, because like the water drops are one of those things where the ideal situation would be that I sit in my room with an audiobook on and like completely zone out for 3 hours and work on the water drops until they're done. Which I don't know when I'm gonna have time to do that this week, but I will make time, I guess. Maybe on Saturday. or Friday afternoon. I'm usually, like, if I do stream, I'm usually pretty out of it after stream, and I kind of need some time to myself, so that might be a good call. But I do think that we can probably get the Emperor Butterfly done today, and then I will feel a little bit better about life. I feel good that we finished the Tipathon prompts. I just need to scan these. That's like a background thing. I don't need to worry about it on stream. And once I get this done, I will have technically 2 projects finished for the color of the month, because I also counted this because we used a bunch of the permanent violet here. And then the eggplant would be number 3, and I will feel better about life. And we'll see if I end up doing more purple stuff. Depends on my patrons. Let's see. What next? I do think I could add a little bit of yellow highlights in some of the orange, because it does, like, lighten up near the center. I am going to maybe need to clean off my palette a bit. I do know what colors I was using for the eggplant, and I guess I finished the skin, so I can probably take the colors that I was using for that up. Because the water drops will use similar colors, so it should be a bit different. So I think that would be alright. We'll put some yellow in the middle for these, and then do some more orange around it. So we get that vibe right. But I really feel like I've shoved everything in the month into a week. Like, everything I was supposed to do during the month, like, into this week. Which, like, tee whoops. There is, like, along the edges of this, the oranges here, there is a lighter, like, white color, but I think I'm going to turn that a little bit yellow, just to tie it all together a little bit more. I still haven't dragged the suitcase up, because I need to figure out how much stuff I can actually bring. Because, like, I'm realizing that I don't really have good walking shoes, because I don't walk around a lot, honestly. I just wear whatever I'm wearing, and I don't, like, hang out in museums a bunch when I'm home. So I don't really have a lot of good walking shoes. The walking shoes that I have that are best are my super tall Doc Martens, and I'm not sure I can fit those in the suitcase. I would like to try. Generally speaking, when I'm flying, I wear my biggest shoes, but I don't think the Docs are... I think the Docs have too much metal on them for me to get through security with them on, because I'm pre-checked, so I don't have to take my shoes off unless they set off the metal detector, basically. And I don't mind doing that at my home airport, so here, because it's never super busy, and the TSA people are usually really nice. But I don't want to have to do that in other places where I don't know what the, like, situation is exactly. But those would be the best walking shoes. They have, like, the most support, for sure. Like, I have some tennis shoes, but I have not worn them in, like... I don't like that number. I'm not gonna say it out loud. And I have some, like low-top Converse style shoes, but those ones pinch my toes. I don't know, like, they're cute. I like them. I like the way they look with my clothes, but I don't know that I would want to wear those a bunch if they make my toes hurt, you know? But most of the shoes that I consider my most comfortable ones are not good, like, standing around shoes. Because they don't have a lot of, like, arch support or padding or anything. I like having my feet very close to the ground. Generally speaking, I like to be able to feel what's going on underneath. So I've always had like pretty thin-soled shoes, which is great for feeling what's going on. It is not great when you need to like do the museum stroll for 4 hours in a day, you know? It's like, I know that's my plan in Toronto, is why I say that specifically. Is to do some museums. Although I was hoping to go to the textile museum, but I guess they're closed while I'm there. Like, they've been closed for the summer basically, and they're doing fundraising to try to stay open. Because I know my mom went there before. So I'll need to look at some more spots and see where I want to go. Because that is a situation where I am 100% picking what I'm doing, because there is nobody coming with me. It's just me. Which I think will be fun. I like doing things on my own, honestly. It's almost like I'm an introvert or something. I guess there was a time when I didn't really like doing stuff by myself, because I felt awkward. I mean, I always feel awkward to a degree, but when I was in college, during some of my, like, the years closer to when I graduated, I was doing a lot of weaving, which was my art focus in college, was fiber art. And the studio for that was off campus. And it was downtown, so I would often like get dropped off downtown before class, and like a significant amount of time before class, and like go shopping or go grab lunch and a drink or something, or walk through the museum for a little while or something before I went to class by myself. And I think that made me a lot more comfortable with just like existing in public without a safety net of somebody else. Which is good. And I think will serve me well in my travels. I do think that the head has a little bit more of a brown tint to it. I'm gonna do a little bit of paint spraying. Remember. But I should like look and see what I actually want to do when I'm in Toronto, because I haven't. You might think, you might be like, Katie, you're a researcher, so clearly you've researched every single thing you want to do while you're traveling. Nope, sure haven't. Although again, that's really the only one where I need to like decide on my own what I'm doing. The other places I'm going, so I'm visiting Tomato and Sleepy first, and then I'm going to visit Cap, who is my boyfriend. And they, like, all of them have ideas for what we'll do. I just need to figure out the time when I'm by myself. And I haven't done that yet. I haven't really thought about the fact that I'm traveling much, if I'm being honest. Like, I have in, like, a nebulous sense, but not in, like, the specific, oh, yeah, I'm, like, leaving the country kind of sense. Because usually I'm the kind of person who, by the time it's time to travel, has already written and rewritten a packing list 30 times. I've not done that at all yet. Which I keep saying I should do that and then not doing it. Because I think it's just because it feels overwhelming to me to figure out, so my brain doesn't really know where to start. And honestly, It's not a big deal if I forget something. Like, it might be inconvenient, but it's not like there aren't stores in Canada, you know? It'll be fine. And I also think I'm supposed to go to Tim Hortons while I'm there. I think Sleepy decided that we should do that. I know Sleepy also really likes the botanical gardens where they're at. I wonder if they'll be open while I'm there. That would be nice to do. I do keep flip-flopping on whether or not I want to bring my Steam Deck with me. I know I want to bring my Switch for surezies because Cap and I play games together that are on my Switch mostly, so that will be good. But other than that, I'm not really sure if I want to bring my Steam Deck. I'm definitely one of those overpackers, though, who's like, I'm going to want to do every single hobby that I've ever touched in my entire life while I'm traveling, and then I don't touch any of it when I bring it. I know I'm not the only one out there. Oh, I do need some of the, like, ruddy orange on the wings up there, too. I should have done that when I did the face, but I didn't. Here. Hi, Sleepy. Love you too. I hope your shift is going well. Hi, Cap. I was talking about both of you a second ago. Thank you, Sleepy. Oh, good. I know you had to get up early, so I'm glad you got some sleep in. Yeah. Okay, and we are at the point. What kind of vegetables? I need to know what kind. I need to make a decision about what brown I'm using, and I think I want to use umber tone down a little bit with some blue. You guys want to see my eggplant? Everybody else in chat has seen it already. Okay, I see what I did here. I guess Cap has already seen the eggplant. Actually, I sent you a photo of where it was at yesterday. But Sleepy hasn't seen my eggplant. You do not need to cover the whole wing in brown, and I need to remember that I'm not doing that. You didn't respond to it. You responded to me starting it. You did not respond to the progress update. But I figure everybody loves seeing my pickle so much that they probably want to see my eggplant too. Right. Eggplant! And as we discussed earlier, eggplant is technically not a vegetable. It's technically a berry. Just in case anybody was wondering and needed their worldview shattered today. Thank you. I had to redo that like 7 times. Yeah, so we're down to like doing the water droplets mostly. There are a couple. I had to tone down this green a little bit. I also think I need to mess with his little butt here. Because I was trying to work on that while it was too damp yesterday. The hole was too damp. So I needed to wait for it to calm down a little first. Thank you. So we might flip back and forth between that and the butterfly here, because I do think that I can finish the butterfly during stream today, hopefully. Because once I get like the line art down for those ones, it's not so difficult. It's literally just a coloring sheet. I've done all the hard thinking already. And once I get that done, I will feel better about life. I will not feel quite as behind. Yeah, exactly. Sleepy gets it. Cap sees a refractory period and it's like, nah, we're still going. Okay. I've heard the stories, Cap. I know. Yeah, exactly, Sleepy. I do think this is going to shock everybody because I've never done this before, but I do think at the end of stream we're going to go raid Rainbow. Because Rainbow made a very cute art featuring me, Cap, Tomato, and Sleepy. Oh, excellent, Sleepy. I'm glad. I know you've been like hardcore focused on that. And I am also a double game buyer. It is. It's adorable and I love it. She titled it on Art Fight too. What was it? It was Power Couple Squad, I think was what it was. And I was like, that's so cute. I love it. And I started giggling. I do think that it's really cute how many people call Cap and I a power couple. Yes, that was super cute. I could make my life a little easier by putting masking fluid on these spots that are supposed to stay white, but I also don't want to do that, so I'm not going to. I'm trying to do kind of like an ombre with these colors because it's gonna fade into the violet, and I need to be careful because this is a warmer color, so it can make the purple a bit more muddy in general. I gotta watch it. Ah, yeah, that's good, Sleepy. Oh, I did show earlier, speaking of personas, the sticker for August, Sticker Club, which Sleepy and Cap have both both voted on which version of it was going to be a sticker, because they are also both people who will be getting the sticker. But ta-da! I did post, like, not really a photo of the sticker, but kind of a photo of the sticker on Patreon already. But it was Con laying on top of my entire stack of stickers. And I picked him up by his arms like this, and he just let me do it so that you could see the sticker a little bit underneath him. Because I was warning people, I was like, there's a cat in the house now. If you're super allergic to cats, please tell me so that I can try and keep you safe. Kind of a thing. Because he's a cuddle boy. He likes getting all over your stuff. He likes banning people in other people's Twitch chats, you know. Yeah, I think the blur is really funny. I think it's funnier if you know the original image too, which I included. The post hasn't gone out yet, but which I did include in the like announcement post for the sticker. Yep, good luck. And happy skating, I guess. Hopefully.
Number, I'd like to return to the classics.
That's so funny. Because the Young Bay album has I'd like to return to the classics on that album, and then it goes into another song that has a like old school riff. But because it's shuffled here, I don't even know if I have that other song on this playlist actually, because some of them, even though they're remixes, so they aren't technically DMCA, they still get caught sometimes, and I just don't want to deal with it. Especially since, because of uploading like the VODs to YouTube, if something gets caught by YouTube, it's a huge pain in the ass. Because it doesn't just straight up tell you what song it was, necessarily, because it's incorrectly judged what song it is. It's just like, oh, you used this in a remix, and I'm like, I don't know what that means. So I have to go back through and figure it out on my own VOD, and it's like, and put in a, what's the word that they use? Like review to say, actually, no, you're wrong. And it's just a pain in the ass. Welcome back, Cat. So if I don't have to do it, I won't. And once I notice that a song is doing that, I take it off the playlist. And Young Bays, a lot of those have remixes of songs that are still under copyright. So it gets caught. I have no idea what I'm going to eat for lunch. I should take a progress photo. Hello, Aria. Yeah, well, preparing for like anything that's big like that definitely takes a lot of brain power. Good, good. I finished all of the tipathon prompts because I just had one to do today. Now we're focusing on this butterfly, and I might work a little bit on the eggplant. I will show you that in a second. I just need to get this color down and even-ish before I let it go. But this is the other thing we're working on and off on. Mostly off, because what's really left is the water droplets, and I think the correct answer is for me to zone out while I do that, which is not a thing that I can really do while streaming. So good arts. This song always reminds me of the Eureka theme song. I'm pretty sure I say that literally every time it comes up, too. Because it does. I do think perhaps working on the eggplant, but while that dries is a good call, because I need that to dry before I can shade it the way that I want it to. Or I want to shade it. I can word. No, I can't. I do want to work on this guy's little butt. Okay. You can't really see. This is like a really dark painting just because of how much purple there is. And as we know, our webcam tries its best, but it's not made for showing art. It is made for looking at a face. It's doing its best. This This is not the task it was made for. Someday I'll be able to get like a real proper camera, which will be easier when I have a real proper computer that will actually run a real proper camera. Because I do have a DSLR, like a big DSLR. It's old, but I could use that once I get a real setup with like a real desk. But right now, that is not what I have, so. Okay, I think that's gonna dry to a color that I like. That's fine. Ugh. Oh, I did mention before, but I'll mention this a couple times during stream. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to stream on Friday or not. I will keep everybody updated in my Discord, on socials, that kind of thing, so keep an eye. And I will definitely update it on here, on Twitch, the Twitch schedule, because I'm leaving on Monday, so I might need to, like, you know, do more laundry and that kind of stuff. I'll see where I'm at tomorrow and how I'm feeling about it. Right now I am planning to stream on Friday, but if I start freaking out, then I will probably not. And, you know, focus on other stuff. I definitely for sure am not streaming on Monday. But as I said before, and I will say again, BP is doing some birthday stuff on Monday. So if you're looking for a place to hang out, I would suggest hanging out with BP and wishing him a happy birthday. His birthday is not on Monday, but he is doing some stream stuff. Yeah, I've mentioned this before, but I'm a very anxious traveler, so I tend to like start making packing lists and stuff like over a month in advance because I'm just like that as a person. I haven't done that for this trip yet, so I'm expecting for it to become real to me at some point in the near future, and then I will start freaking out. Yeah. I love my fellow list makers, like they get it. I was actually talking to one of my Tumblr friends this morning, because they were talking about how it's annoying as a writer for them to like try to describe colors when you look the color up, people disagree about what the color actually is. And I'm like, yeah, we do be neurodivergent, don't we? Which, like, yeah, the constant list making is also a sign of that. Yep. Like I already, like right when I made all of the travel plans, I did make myself a nice little list of all of my travel plans, which I am going to print out a couple copies because Tomato suggested that I should have that ready in case Customs asks me about it, since it's my first time going through. I'll probably get those set, but I haven't made like a proper packing list. And I think honestly, it's because I've let go a little bit, like I've worked with myself on some of the reason why I was so anxious about traveling and why I would make those lists. Because for a very long time, oh, I just made a connection in my head. For a very long time, I was very focused on making sure I didn't forget anything. And I just realized why that probably was and why it isn't as big of a deal now, but I don't need to say that aloud on stream. I think people who know me might be able to guess a little bit about why that might be. But as I've gotten older, it's like, if I forget my deodorant, like, yeah, it's annoying, but there's a store where I'm going. It is not a big deal. Like, I may need to get a different scent or something, but it's not that big a deal. Although I do need to think about sunscreen. Because I have some sunscreen sticks that are meant for, like, your face, but I don't really have a whole thing of sunscreen. I might ask if I can take the one we have in the house, because we don't use it super often here, but Greg and I are both hella pale, so and I do know for a fact that my boyfriend will have sunscreen at his house, but that's not the only place I'm going. Because my boyfriend is also hella pale. And burns easier than I do. Okay. I need to deepen up the color on the inside here. I think. I just need to bring this out a little bit more here. Actually, right down here. Yeah. I will tan a little bit, but only after I burn. Like, yeah, that's better. All right. And I do burn pretty easy, which isn't really a problem where I live because, like, the angle of the sun is wrong. So I don't actually burn here. If I spend a lot of time outside, I will freckle a little bit, but it's not super intense or anything. Like, I got way more intense freckles when I lived in Oregon. I got plenty of moles, though. If anybody wants moles, I got you covered. I'll share. Yep. Because as you might have figured out from my last name, I do have Irish heritage, which means freckles and sunburns. The other bit is mostly Dutch, which again does not save me from the sun. Okay, I think the designs need to be... I'll probably use Payne's Gray like I did on the body for those. Probably this section too. There is like a tiny bit of like a white portion here that I didn't ink in. I might go over that with white ink, but I might not. I think it looks fine with the black so far, but I might change my mind the farther in we get. And I know that I said that this is going to be purple. We're saving the purple. I want to get the rest of it built up before I put the purple in. I do think I also need to do a little bit of that dark along the edge here. Okay. But I do need to let that dry, otherwise it's going to suck all the pigment out, and then I will be unhappy. I do think I want to darken this spot up here anyway. This is already looking really good. I'm pleased with how this is coming out. And I think I was right. I think I can finish this today, and then I won't feel quite as frantic as I have been the past couple days. Like, I still need to finish updating my website. I still need to write the post for the Kuro painting and this once it's done, and finish the eggplant, but that's not as overwhelming as I need to start and finish 2 art projects, you know? Okay, you're still damp. I can do this section and that will be fine, I think. Oh, the airline did, so the start of my travels is on Alaska Airlines, which I travel with all the frickin' time. Hi everybody! Welcome in. Good to see you. What were you playing today, I? Merging the tabs, let's go! Hi Diabra, good to see you.
Does it feel good?
Huh?
Hi Super Lesbian. Oh, that's fun. I will have to go back and look at that VOD because I bet that was fucking hilarious. It has been a while since I've heard the beautiful Jess. Oh, good, Diabra. I'm glad. I'm glad I got there safe. I will do a hydrate. Thank you, lesbian.
Show me your
Hydrate.
hams.
Doing a stretch. Bless the Jess, indeed.
I'm escaping to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism.
Thank you, lesbian. I do love that we've all just taken to calling you lesbian and that's it. You're our lesbian. Hi, I. I'm guessing both Jess and I need to go to bed. Or need to lay on the floor with some ice packs on them for a while.
You're doing
Just
great,
as a
sweetie.
guess. Thank you. Oh, my wrist is bugging me. I know it's just because we had a pressure shift, but like, it's annoying. Can you not? Yeah, I know it's been really hot for you guys. Which is disgusting. Yeah, that's fair. You did change yours like a lot. Because you were changing it like every time you could, pretty much, so. Welcome back. I did do all of the self-cares. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the raid. I'm sure I'll talk to you soon. I have a little bit of a bloom situation here that I'm not super thrilled with. I'm gonna work on covering that up a little bit. Yeah, sounds like a squirrel. Thanks, Jazz. Good to see you too. Get some rest and stay cool. As much as you can, anyway. I think it probably would have gotten me closer to the effect I wanted if I had done the dark and then put the orange on top, but you live and you learn. I know I've told Linda. Have I told you the story about Grammy and the squirrel? Because I told Linda when she started feeding her squirrels. But for anybody else, so my great grandmother, my Grammy, which would be my double maternal great grandmother. So my mom's mom. We lived really, really close to her growing up, and so we would visit her on a regular basis. And she had her own little like condo that she lived in. And she had a really nice like sliding glass door to a porch that she usually kept open and just had the screen there. And she would feed the squirrels peanuts. And I'm sure I've said this multiple times where people can see, but she called every single squirrel Fred. That was their name. The collective squirrel was named Fred. And so she would regularly feed them peanuts and stuff. And one day she was asleep in her chair, which was next to the sliding door, and a squirrel showed up, and she wasn't awake to give peanuts, and the squirrel thought this was a great injustice, and the squirrel was going to fix it itself. So he chewed through the screen door, and when Grammy woke up because she was hearing weird sounds, she found Fred in the kitchen with his head in the bag of the peanuts. So he had like let himself in and was just like, I'll just get a little snacky from the kitchen. Don't worry about it. You don't need to get up. And she stopped feeding the squirrels after that. Yeah, good flop, Shawnee. Welcome back. Ooh, and you get to be gay. Congratulations. Well, to be fair, she really conked out when she was in her chair, so all the women in my family until me were good sleepers. I am not good at sleeping. I'm also not really a woman either, but you know. But both my grandmother and my great-grandmother loved falling asleep in the chair while the TV's on. And not quietly either. The TV, like, full blast. It's giving me hearing damage level. Which isn't so bad for some stuff, but, like, when it's really late at night and there's some, like, chill documentary on the TV, and then all of a sudden the infomercials come on at like 40% volume. Well, like 400% volume compared to the documentary or whatever. That's not great. And it scares me. Yeah, right? I literally sleep with an eye mask and earplugs in every single night. I'm bad at sleeping. Like, my brain doesn't like it. Brain's like, you want us to do something good for you? Well, that's bullshit. Here, think about how much people hate you instead. And it's like, alright, thanks, bud. Which, honestly, this week has been bad. This week and last week. I keep waking up really early and not being able to get back to sleep because my brain is too loud. So, like, yesterday, I woke up at, like, 5:40. And couldn't get back to sleep. And there was it on Monday? Or was it last week? There was a time when I was streaming and I was like, I have been up since 3:30 a.m. Maybe it was on Friday. It's like, I woke up and could not get back to sleep. It's great. I love it. My brain is so useful. Yeah, I know you will, Cap. I have been sleeping a little bit better. Like, it's been easier for me to get to sleep, and I've been having less nightmares now that I can use my weighted blanket again, which is good. Because, yeah, we were having a time there for a little bit. Although the cat is not sure what to think of the weighted blanket. I know I showed Cap and I showed Aria too a video of him realizing that the weighted blanket makes sounds and playing with it because it has like those little plastic beads in it, right? So if it shifts, it makes sounds that to a cat I'm sure sound like a toy. Like it does sound like a cat toy. So he was like pouncing on the bed for a bit because he realized the banky was making noises. Yeah. My time has gotten shoved back to like 11 now. So I will sit in bed for multiple hours and read, trying to like, or, you know, do other chill activities, trying to get my brain to like realize that it's bedtime. And it's like, yeah, like I know I'm tired, but you aren't allowed to fall asleep yet. I'm like, can we just like actually sleep, please, for the love of fucking God? Although I have been getting a lot of reading done. It's just at the expense of my brain. You know, whatever. It's fine. Okay. Let's darken that area up a little. I do want to do... There's like little lines through. Ooh, yeah. I do have blackout curtains because I live in a place where the sun like doesn't really go down for half the year, you know. Which does help, but even without that I wouldn't have blue light out there. We do have a street light out there now that didn't used to be there, but it's not like super intense. Although I have drastically changed my sleep schedule from what it used to be. I started like shifting my sleep schedule like a lot earlier when I started threatening to stream with more enthusiasm, I guess, a few years ago, maybe like 5 years ago. I don't know what time is and I don't want to think about it. But one of my best friends is Aiden, who lives in Ireland, and so I wanted to make sure that I could get up early enough that he could visit a stream if I was streaming, which I have successfully done. But I used to go to bed at like 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. range, and then sleep most of the day. Which I'm sure didn't help because, like, help my mental state because I was definitely. Hi, Blib. It was definitely making it so that I never saw the sun, which is bad for your brain, in case anybody was wondering. Do you stop again, Spotify? Annoying. That's not the button I meant to click. Nope, you're just really quiet. Alright. Well, I mean, yeah, Shawnee, but you're also up at reasonable hours sometimes, you know. I say reasonable, that isn't a fair word to use. Up at I don't want to use normal either. Like, there isn't a good way to phrase what I'm trying to say. Expected hours, I guess, is maybe the best way to say it. Because, like, it do be the hours our society is, like, focused on. Yeah. But now, like, I get tired. Like, if I stay up past 9:30, I'm exhausted. I feel like an old lady. Which, to be fair, I'm kind of old lady coded anyway. Have you seen how many fiber crafts I do? Like, yeah. Well, I mean, like, Cap is like 5 hours ahead of me, time-wise. And we go to bed at the same time. So I'm gonna be so tired. Yeah, that's just too many syllables, lesbian. Capitalism assigned productivity hours is like a lot. That's a mouthful. So I think expected hours probably gets the vibe across of what I'm trying to say. I think the reason I said that was because I think I'm going to have trouble staying up with Cap when I'm visiting. It is going to be outside my usual range of hours. Okay, that's looking pretty good so far. Is there anything else I want to do here before I add the purple? I don't think so at the moment. So we're gonna slap some purple on this baby and see how it goes. Want that brush. I'll probably add a little bit of a layer of blue over this to get it closer to what the actual color is. Plus it'll make the orange really pop. To be fair, like, I'm not going to be straight up dealing with the 5-hour time change because I am stopping at a spot that is 2 hours different from me before I go to the 5 hours, so it will only be 3 hours probably by the time I get there. But because of the way my brain quote unquote functions, which I don't think is a fully accurate term for my brain, I do tend to not be able to get back to sleep if I wake up enough to see that it's like 9:30. And honestly, that has shifted to 8:30. Yeah. So I'm stopping to see Sleeping Tomato first, and then I'm coming to see you, and then I'm going to Toronto for a couple days. And I'm trying so hard to not say the city that Sleeping Tomato are in. Because, like, they have said it before, but I don't need to say it repeatedly. But I figured it was, I looked at, like, the flight times, and it was easier doing it that way to get back home than the other way around. I should send you my travel stuff again and pin it in our chat because I don't think I did that before. Or maybe I did and I just forgot. Yeah. There really isn't a concise way to put that except for capitalism bad, I guess. Because because it's not really just capitalism, but that is a major issue. And I think Guillotine-san could help us. Just saying. Well, I know that I sent it to you at some point, but I don't think I pinned it. I definitely sent it to Sleepy and Tomato. Capitalism does suck. So true. Oh, that's fine, lesbian. I can bop back and forth. My brain does that anyway. I was like, what do you mean me and most of my friend group are all neurodivergent? How could that have happened? What do you mean we come in a 6-pack like soda? Yeah, I thought that I had, but I went back to look, and I think maybe 2 days ago, and I hadn't, and then I forgot to fix it right away because 3 people were talking to me at the same time. And we all know how well I do with multiple sources of stimulation, and the answer is I don't. I know, so rude of me. You should just break up with me now and save yourself the trouble. Can you wait until we're in, like, the hotel at least? Can you hold out that long? I mean, to be fair, that would not be the first time it has happened to somebody. And it would not be the first time that has happened to people I know. Which is wild to me. Like... As some people really do be out here just never having a real conversation. Yeah, I do think I want to put some blue over the top of this. Because it is pretty pinky at the moment. Isn't necessarily bad, it's just I would like it to be more nature accurate, I guess. I say as if these butterflies wander around in nature with a little crown on their head. I mean, why do we call them emperor if we aren't going to give them a crown? I'm sure it just has to do with the color, but... I'd like everybody to look at my new Kickstarter, which is to provide every single emperor butterfly and monarch butterfly in the world with their own crown. With your help, we can give them the honor they deserve. Oh, all good, Tomato. Thank you for the lurk. I love you. Good work with therapy. As if you're tired from therapy, that means you're doing some hard frickin' work. So good for you. Thank you, Shawnee. And you're welcome to, like, I don't know, ramble in my DMs or something if that will help you. I think you know that already, but I'll say it outright anyway. you want our monarchs to die without being shown the proper respect, I'm pretty sure that's blasphemy. They were chosen by God. Okay. The pink is not super even on both sides. I have more pigment on this side. Maybe there. It goes out to about there. That's better. Okay. Butterflies aren't perfectly symmetrical, but they do look a little off if you don't get them quite symmetrical enough. I would really love it if my pelvis would just pop and stop being an asshole. Ugh. I may be doing weird stretches after stream to see if I can pop my frickin' just totally spaced on the name of that joint. Acrociliac. No, that's not right. My pelvis. My pelvis. I need to pop my pelvis. It's fine. I don't need to use the correct words for everything all the time. Nobody will stone me for it. It's not that side though, it's the back side. So I gotta torque it out. Okay, I do think that I want to deepen that up a little bit right there. Yeah, gotta throw it back. You need to be careful though, because that's still wet right there. What I really need is one of those back-cracking tomato hugs. Which soon it'll happen. I was thinking the other day about like how long I've had issues with that joint. Cause like I remember like the first big relationship I had when I moved to Alaska. My boyfriend thought it was going to be like sexy or something, and no, it really wasn't. But I asked him to like push on my pelvis while I was laying on the floor to try to get my freaking back to crack. And that was a long time ago. A long time ago. So that joint has been like bothering me for like, oh, almost half my life. That's disgusting. I hate that. I think we could use more Shawnee in the world, honestly. And I do think that you deserve more help in general. Which I don't think will shock you that I think that. I do think deepening up the brown a little bit. Yeah, can we get multiple Shawnees? Can we each keep one in our home? Love and care for. I wonder if pet Shawnees could be like the next pet rock. I feel like Shawnees do not take a lot of maintenance in general, because Shawnee won't let themselves take a lot of maintenance. Tamashani, I love that. Shawnee, you need to make a character of you so that I can draw that. That is absolutely true. We will vet every single potential Shawnee owner. Yeah, exactly. They're banned from the store. Or the adoption center, maybe? Mm-hmm. Okay. I think adding a bit of blue here. I think Prussian blue is the play. Oh, I should take another progress photo, actually. I've been getting worse and worse about taking progress photos, honestly. I don't think it's that big a deal, but every time I remember that I was supposed to be doing that, I'm like, nope. It is wild how much different that looks in person than it does on screen. Purples always pick up so bad, like purples and blues. I do think this is looking really nice, though. I am going to do... Well, I was thinking I was going to do the crown as gold, like actual pearlescent, but I'm second guessing myself now. Thinking maybe I just want to do it in like yellow and orange. Just because the pearlescent doesn't, like, it scans fine, but it does look different. And this is going to be one of the like regular rarity stickers. So I think maybe not having the metallic is the correct call there. I also think that even though these spots are like paper white on the butterfly, I don't want to leave them that white. But I'm not 100% sure. I haven't fully decided yet. We also put a little bit of highlight on the face. It's like there's a little bit of highlight on the little face and on the eyes near the inside. And a smaller brush for that. I'm gonna use a little bit of white watercolor. If I don't think that's intense enough, I can always add some white ink on top of it and it will be fine. Because it does dry less opaque than it looks when it's wet. Making it clear that there's two sections to the head right here also will help with some of the sameness of that part of the body. I do often simplify the heads and the thoraxes because they get real complicated. And at a certain point of detail, like you aren't even going to be able to see it once it's a sticker. Like is like these pieces of paper are 5x5, and the standard size I do for my stickers is 3 inches one direction, which often means it's about 3x3. Which means that I can put in a lot more detail than you're actually going to end up seeing. And I am very talented at deciding to put in a bunch of details that nobody but me is ever going to see. Which ends up making my life more difficult a lot of the time. I've been trying to be a little bit better about reminding myself that, like, nobody's going to see it. It's fine. Oh, yeah, that's a fair amount, Arya. I do think that I'm going to do some like darker blue around the lines here too, but not super intense. Kind of like emphasize those ink lines. I think I could do the same with some brown on the lower part of the wing. Then we just need to do the crown and I think we're done. Yep, exactly. I don't think I actually even like directly know any entomologists, so I think I'm safe for now anyway. Although I do want them to be like recognizable enough, you know. I think with the patterning and stuff for butterflies especially, like that isn't a difficult bar to reach. Yeah, that slaps. Alright. Also do that for these ones here. I think. Yes! Good, Shawnee. I'm sure both entomologists and Brain, can you make a word? I'm really out of it today. And etymologists, thanks, buddy. Get bugged by that too. Oh, sorry, I just hit my headset with my hand. Which means it probably picked up and was loud. Apologies. Maybe I do want to leave those white. If I leave those spots white, it will be easier to make into a sticker, like to clean up that area. But I also have been cleaning up my scans a little bit less than I used to. Because for a long time I was like trying to make sure that like every single color went fully to the line and stuff like that. Now I mostly just clean up the outside. For some of the bugs I also have been cleaning up like the line work internally by going over it with a similar textured brush digitally. As I am going to have all of these have a white background for the regular rarity ones, like the common ones. And then I think the, well, maybe I'll leave it white for the other ones too. It just makes it a lot less taxing to make sure that they're cutting correctly, which makes it easier on the cutter, which makes it easier on me. Which I also think that just like white border stickers look cleaner a lot of the time. I don't do it for all of them, but especially if there's a color that I think will like complement it better. But okay, I think doing a little bit of brown line on the bottom of these wings. Oh, I also, this is like neither here nor there, but I noticed a new Twitch glitch today. because I signed on to Twitch to see who was live, like, this morning while I was just sitting around for a bit. And there's definitely a glitch that shows, like, a bunch of people have you as a favorite on their collab list that do not. So I had one person on my list who I knew had me as a favorite. Because it shows you, if you're a streamer, it shows you a little symbol in the corner if you can knock to somebody's stream. And it was definitely showing me that little symbol on a bunch of people who do not have me favorited. So there were like 6 people in a row around the one person who I know does have me as as a favorite. And I was like, that's strange. But that could, that kind of glitch, if you didn't realize it was a glitch, could end up in some really awkward conversations, I think. Okay, I think crayon is the last thing to do. Because I think the rest of this is pretty well sorted.
And now for my next number, I'd like to return to the classics.
Okay. I'm gonna build up some colors pretty intensely on this. So we're gonna start with kind of like a green-based gold, or green-based yellow, I mean, which will be our highlight color. And then build up some oranges around it. No, so the, I can take a screenshot for you at some point and show you the actual symbol, Shawnee. Which actually I should add you to my favorites and then you would be able to see. Because you are my favorite. But there's like a little green symbol next to the person's icon. That shows that you can knock. But I know somebody is going to be live who has me favorited, so I can just show you the symbol later. Yeah, totally fair. And I can show you. It also tells you when you go into a person's chat every single time if they have you favorited, because it says that you can knock to collab basically. So it does like let you know if somebody has favorited you. Oh yeah, tattoos are hard. Because you gotta figure out that wraparound, you know? I'm always impressed with tattoo artists who can like plan around the curvature of whatever body part too. Because like, I can't even figure that out when I'm like drawing a person, you know? I can't figure out how things are supposed to go. I think I started talking about why I was going to do orange, and then I stopped. But gold in the shadows just kind of gets like way more saturated. So if you just do yellows, it doesn't look right. You gotta add some richer oranges in there. Otherwise it just looks weird. Yeah, you are a detail guy. I knew that about you. Hi Toast, good to see you. And I think I'll use a little bit of white ink on top of that for high highlight. I might add a little bit of red in like the deeps once that's a little drier. I think I need to use my tension pillow on my neck today too. My joints are just mad at me. We had a pretty drastic pressure shift the past couple of days. It's been ping-ponging. So oh, I did also get some packages today from Rainbow's Fourth Wall, which means I have my Shirley mug and my new Shirley tank top, which I am wearing a rainbow tank top right now. As a matter of fact, I have a gremlin on me today. Gremlin. Okay, I do think I'm going to use a thinner brush for that. Mm-hmm. What do you mean? Oh, interesting. That would be cool. Yeah, that would be neat. Actually, maybe I should make a note on my possum. No, because there'd be fur there anyway. Never mind. I did give permission for like pinup style stuff with my possum. And I do have a tattoo that would be visible doing that if there wasn't fur there, but there is fur there, so I don't think I need to worry about it. Maybe I need to put tattoos on my possum tail. Oh yeah, I actually specifically in Ratholomew's description, I suggested people doing that, like making their own little side stories about how he got certain scars or something. Because I feel like because of the way that I did Rattholomew, he's just like a little adventurer, and his first, like the sticker that I did of him is him like just setting out. So I was like, this guy is gonna have a rough time in the world. So if you come up with some sort of like scar that you want to give him because you think it looks cool or something, give me a backstory for it and I'll just like include it in the lore. Because I feel like he's more of like a, especially with like adventures and stuff, I feel like it's kind of a group project a little bit because of the way that like an individual character will interact with everybody else and it changes them on the journey. So I thought that that was a cool way to like include that kind of aspect. So yes, I agree with you. That is cool. And I gave permission on one of my characters to do that. Nobody has attacked Rattholomew. It's all just been my possum. But this isn't the pen that I want. This one. There. I think that's done. We did it. Look at us go. Cool. I feel better about life now that I have one thing done. There's so much to do all the time forever. Okay. Well, technically I got 2 things done today. I should not discount my own work there just because my brain has already written it off because my brain is an evil bastard. And I'm excited to see whatever idea you just had, Cap. Hi, Con. Would you like to hang out here for a little bit? Hmm? You want pets? What'd you do? Ah, I see. Which ones? Ah, that's fair. I'm guessing you guys heard that because I saw my PNG tuber bounce a bit there. But Greg was horribly cruel to Mr. Babyman and trimmed some of his nails, which were desperately needed. I don't think I've had my arm far enough out for you guys to see, but that's from Con the other day. He's pointy. He's a pointy boy. Cap says hi. He says hi back. Also, I should probably go make myself lunch. I should figure out what I'm. Oh yeah, we've managed. Greg has a fair amount of practice because he did most of the grooming on Jack. Near the end of his life, really. But I also helped with that, especially, which is part of the reason why Jack didn't like me as much, was because I was. A lot of the times when I was touching him, I was shaving him or trimming his nails, which is fair. Well, Mr. Babyman is also a criminal, so I think it's okay. Because he did ban somebody from a chat. By walking over my keyboard. And made a clip at the same time, which I don't know how he managed to do both of those in like 4 steps, but he sure did. Hi, Bloom! I don't know what I'm gonna eat for lunch. Thanks, Bloom! I'm probably gonna merge your tabs in a second here. I'm gonna go raid Rainbow in not too long. Yeah, he found, I don't know how he managed to, but like the first day that he was walking around and figured out that he could step on my laptop, he found some Firefox shortcut that I don't even know what it was doing, but it brought up a window I have never seen before. Like, I don't know what it was for. I just closed it out really fast. I was like, I don't know what that is. I don't need to look at that. I don't know how he figured it out, but he sure did. Okay, I pulled out this pen so that I could put the... yeah, good, Bloom. I hope you have some good chill time. I need to look at how I've been labeling these is the next thing. I always forget. It wasn't like the inspect an item, like inspect the page shortcut, because I use that one so that I can turn off things on websites that are flashing and trying to give me a migraine. Yeah, it's been really hot for you guys, hasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I hope it cools down for you guys, because I know that it has been intense. Why did I? Oh, I remember why I had that open. Never mind. Yeah, that's totally fair. I also, excuse me, have difficulty sleeping when it's too warm. But my concept of too warm is very different from yours. I wanted to make sure that I was spelling this butterfly name correctly. That's why. Yeah, that's fair. So again, we've talked about this before, but my house gets really hot whenever it's sunny out during the summer also. Um, so my idea for too hot outside of my house, if I am inside of my house, is about 65 degrees. Um, because my room, by the end of the day, is at least 10 degrees warmer than the outside temperature, if it's sunny. Even if it's not sunny, it is significantly warmer, with our heat entirely off also. So we don't have our furnace running during the summer. But anything past that, it gets way too hot in here. Oh, excellent, Cap. I'm glad you got it. Oh, I just thought of a funny name for a shiny Espeon. I wouldn't use it, but it would be funny to name it Slurm. Because it really is that color. I wonder if I've told somebody to do that before. I bet I've had this thought before. $65 year-round would be nice. I agree. That is not the world that I live in. Because like here, we sometimes get down to like -20 Fahrenheit. It depends on the winter. Oh, that's frustrating. I'm sorry, Cap. Okay. And put this away. Do I remember which pocket I got that out of? Sure don't. I will take a better photo of this for art tax purposes. I will show you guys my eggplant again, I guess, before we end. Ooh, don't knock over the water, please. That was at myself. I was pleasing myself. That sure is words that I just put together. That's fine. But the eggplant, I just have the water drops left to do. I might work on that off stream a little bit. I also have an art fight to work on that I can work on. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to stream Friday morning or not. I might want to like sleep in a little bit instead and then start packing. We'll see, and I will announce in my Discord and on socials and stuff like that if I decide not to stream. Right now I'm moving forward like I am planning to stream, which means we'll probably be working on this because I'll need to get this done and get it posted to Patreon by the weekend. Well, during the weekend. Because I also have updating of my website to do and stuff. Which that one isn't as dire, but I would like to get it done so that I'm not worrying about it. Me not worrying, illegal. Yeah, well, I figured everybody likes my pickle so much that I should also show my eggplant. I am thinking after I finish this, I'm probably going to make it an emote. Because I feel like it would be a popular emote. In addition to the pickle. And I feel like Shawnee would have a lot of fun combining that in the emote sentences in the hieroglyphs of Twitch. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Well, I added the pickle for Shawnee because I thought Shawnee would find it amusing, and I was right. And it's now one of my most popular emotes that's used outside of my channel. I will always remember that Matto thought it was a picture of a pickle that was an emote and not a painting. That continues to feed my ego. Because we were talking about it on Matto's stream at one point, and like chat and Matto themselves were like, "Oh, we thought that was a photo," because I said that it was a watercolor painting, and like I'd sold the painting. They were all like, "Wait, that's a painting? I thought that was a picture." And I was like, "Well, thanks. I worked really hard on it." It's kind of like the same little boost I get whenever I try to search for a reference photo in my iPhone photos, because I've added like a search function. So like whenever I try to search seal or whatever to find my reference photo, and it brings up the process photos of me making the painting that's the reference is based off of, I get a little ego boost. I'm like, yeah, that is recognizable. Thanks for noticing. Especially if I was trying to do a vague amount of realism. Alright, I'm gonna switch over to the ending screen because that's what I'm doing now. I'm gonna end stream and go figure out what the fuck I'm eating. I know I've said this to people before. I get so tired of eating. Like, why do I constantly have to figure out what I'm eating? Why can't I just photosynthesize or something? Okay. What do I need to do? I just totally lost my train of thought. Needed to pull up Rainbow's stream. I also needed to type the raid command in chat before I do that, or everything will explode. Alright. Having to do things in like a really specific order is definitely a streamer thing. You have to open programs in a certain order or they won't work. But having to also do things in a certain order to keep my laptop from shitting itself is like next level. It's annoying. Not gonna lie. I can do it, it's just annoying. Okay. I'm gonna send that through. Alright. Thanks everybody for hanging out, and thanks especially to I for the raid and Lesbian for gifting some subs there. Let me do this. So there are raid commands in chat. The first one has emoji that you can use anywhere on Twitch. The second one has an emote that you can use if you're subscribed to my channel. So please copy and paste the one that's relevant to you. Totally good, Shawnee. We're on the same page today. The lag is real. The reason I remember those commands even when my brain isn't working is because I specifically chose to do fall raid instead of F raid, because Trish's is F raid and it looks like you're saying frayed every time, like you're afraid to go raid, and I wanted to make it not be that. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being nice to me. It's always great to hang out and chat and have a good time. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourselves. Remember that you're loved because I love you. And if you can't take care of or be kind to yourself for yourself, please do so for me, because I think that you're awesome and deserve nice things, including from yourself, even on the days when it's really hard. I will either see you on Monday, or I will either see you on Friday, or I will see you in August, and we'll figure that out. So catch you all next time, or various other places on the internet. Okay, bye!